Roll call of the members. Councilor Cogliandro.
Here.
Here. Councilor Morabito.
Here.
Here. Councilor Novoselsky.
Here.
Here. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Rizzo.
Here.
Here. Councilor Sereno.
Here.
Here. Councilor Sylvestri.
Here.
Here. Councilor Visconti.
Here.
Here. Councilor Zambuto.
Here.
Here. And President Pro Tem McKenna.
Here.
Here. Quorum is present.
Could I speak from the chair, please? I'd like to have a moment of silence tonight. Today is the 22nd anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attack, so I would like to stand and have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Approval of the journal of the
Madam
regular
President,
meeting.
point of personal privilege.
State your point,
Can we
Councilor.
also, can we also have a moment of silence for those we lost in Morocco and the people of Morocco from the earthquake?
Could we please stand? Thank you, Councilor.
Approval of the journal of the regular meeting of August 28th.
All in favor? All opposed? Accepted.
Calendar item number 6, Cheryl McCormick from the Building Department General Counsel will appear before the City Council to provide an update on the litigation status of the property at 585 North Shore Road. I was informed by Attorney McCormick today that she's unable to attend tonight's meeting due to an unforeseen family matter. She did, however, submit a letter to the Revere City Council outlining the status of the litigation.
All in favor? All approved? Accepted.
Calendar item number 7. This is a motion presented by Councilor Sylvestri that the City Council awards certificates of commendation to call takers from the and staff of the Metropolitan Regional North Emergency Communication Center for their efforts in response during the shooting on Revere Beach Memorial Day weekend.
Councilor Sylvestri. Yep.
Okay. So I think we all remember on Memorial Night Eve, we had an incident on Revere Beach that no one was expected. It was emergency. Our police officers and first responders had to act immediately, and so do our call takers. And they all stepped up, not only that night, but for time afterwards, nights and days afterwards, working overtime to find suspects and stuff like that. So I want to just read a certificate of merit in acknowledgement of extraordinary, distinguished, and meritorious actions. Special recognition is hereby awarded to Brandon Kaiser, a call taker at MNRECC, on Sunday, May 28, 2023, over Memorial Day weekend on Revere Beach. A double shooting occurred. The actions taken by staff of the Metropolitan Regional North Emergency Communication Center to obtain critical information about the shooting, precisely assess the situation, and make quick decisions while always remaining calm and professional in order to assist the police officers and troopers on the scene warrant this recognition. in witness of the Certificate of Merit is gracefully bestowed by the Mayor and the City Council of Revere on behalf of its citizen this 11th day of September, in our year of the Lord 2023, in independence of the United States of America, 247th. Brennan. Christopher Stewart. Ashley Goodwin, Training Supervisor. Brianna Reyes. Jess Florentino. Lauren O'Hara. Katrin Granda. Alexandria Doffelin.
Thank you all so much.
You guys want to take a picture? Am I in anybody with Jessica? I'm sorry, I'm always in everybody's way. That's. Great, thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, congratulations, congratulations.
Great job, guys.
Can I have my chair back? They're gonna.
All right, calendar item number 8, motion presented by the Revere City Council that the City Council would award a certificate of commendation to Director of Veteran Services Mark Sylvestri for his dedicated service to the veterans of Revere during his 6.5 tenure as the community's VSO.
This presentation is by all the councilors, so I'd like all the councilors to come up here.
So tonight we have the distinct honor of honoring one of our own who, before he was one of our own, he was for many years our city's Director of Veteran Services. As many people in the community undoubtedly know, Mark is a decorated American hero. He's a decorated veteran, U.S. Army. He received the Purple Heart, the Bronze Star, and served our nation diligently in Afghanistan during the War on Terror. When he came home, I think one of Mayor Arrigo's best hires, if I can say, was Mark as the Director of Veteran Services. And tonight, as we honor him, I want to list off some of the highlights of his tenure because they're quite lengthy. So, during his time as Director, Mark has given support to all veterans in all situations 24/7. He has met veterans in need where they are and has worked tirelessly to offer help in whatever the issue of the day might have been. One story that was shared with me was a situation where a mentally distraught veteran was in a crisis. Mark worked with the RPD and the SWAT team to help defuse that situation and made sure that the veteran was taken to a veterans hospital where he received the medical help that he so desperately needed. Mark helped to modernize the Veteran Services Office, and under his leadership, the office has processed the most VA claims in the city's history, ensuring that veterans and their families are receiving the benefits they are so rightly entitled to. He has brought his lived experience to his professional life and championed causes of mental health, overcoming substance use disorder, and homelessness to help veterans in the city who have experienced similar issues. He worked tirelessly with the family of Charles McMacken to give his body a proper hero's welcome back home to his hometown of Revere in order to be laid to rest after being MIA and KIA for nearly 80 years. He ran the Wheelchairs for Veterans program in Revere, where veterans in need could receive a wheelchair for free. He ensured that veterans of the community who were at home alone on Thanksgiving received holiday meals, as well as grocery items for veterans in need even during the pandemic. He reunited veterans who had been separated after their service, most memorably Richard Hayes and Alan Pinkowski. He served as an integral member of the Revere Municipal Aid Network during the pandemic, where he went above and beyond to serve the homeless population of the community, putting himself at risk of contracting COVID. He started the Legion Lawn Brick program, where veterans of Revere, both living and deceased, can be honored and remembered in a permanent fashion. He initiated the commemoration of Purple Heart Month in Revere to celebrate and honor fellow veterans from Revere who have received this commendable distinction. He was the recipient of numerous awards from Operation Troop Support, which sends packages to our troops serving overseas. He was the recipient of the Revere Elks 2019 Citizen of the Year Award for his outstanding service to the Revere veterans community. He was the recipient of the William Joyner Institute's Veterans Excellence Award in October 2022 for his commitment in his role as the Director of Veteran Services for Revere in making a positive difference in society while modeling the best of American values. The selection committee for this recognition specifically noted, Mark has learned that service to others, making a difference in their lives, and working fearlessly toward a common good can help us prevail over the threats and obstacles that stand in our paths. He has served the city of Revere as coordinator for the Wounded Vet Run, which is held every May in Ward 6. He's advocated against all odds to bring his Afghan interpreter, Sabib, and his family to the United States to give them a better home and the best opportunity that they can have. And not listed, but just off the top of my head, he's made Memorial Days and Veterans Days truly remarkable in our community, bringing keynote speakers and making sure that our city honors those particular days in the most meaningful ways possible. He's done drives, I could go on and on. He's done canned food drives for the veterans. He's done coats, winter coat drives. I mean, honestly, we'd be here all night. But we're lucky to have him on the city council, but we are truly going to miss him as our Director of Veteran Services. Whoever comes next, big shoes to fill. So congratulations, Mark. And now I guess I should read the actual citation. But the City of Revere Certificate of Commendation in acknowledgement of extraordinary, distinguished, and dedicated service to the veterans of Revere during his 6.5-year tenure as the city's Veteran Service Officer, special recognition is hereby accorded to Mark Sylvestri, City of Revere Veteran Service Officer, a combat veteran himself who served our nation proudly in Afghanistan during the War on Terror. Director Sylvestri has gone above and beyond to grow the role of the Veteran Service Office to identify and provide needed resources and programs to his brother and sister veterans. His tenure as the Director of Veteran Services ought to be lauded, and it ought to be known that the City of Revere is grateful to Director Sylvestri for his extraordinary efforts to be a strong voice and advocate for our veterans. In witness whereof, this certificate of commendation is gratefully bestowed by the City Council of the City of Revere, Massachusetts, on behalf of its citizens, this 11th day of September in the year of our Lord, 2023, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 247th. Congratulations, Mark.
I just want to thank the veterans, the City of Revere, my colleagues, my family members for being here tonight. It was a special time being the Veteran Service Officer here in the City of Revere. It's a job and a career that I will never forget. It's left an impact on my life, and just as I helped many veterans, they helped keeping me in the right frame of mind and pushing forward. But I have to say, if I didn't hold up to anyone out there, I apologize for that. I'm not perfect, and I know I let some slip by, but if I did, my apologies are to you. Thank you.
Next up is the Legislative Affairs Subcommittee report.
Thank you. So tonight we had 2 items on the agenda. We had a motion relative to fireworks, which was voted out favorably. If we can have a roll call on that.
Order to a second reading. Order to a third reading and final reading. Roll call for engrossment and ordainment.
Shall the City Council approve an ordinance establishing regulations for fireworks? Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Rizzo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sylvestri?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo is absent. And President Pro Temp McKenna?
Yes.
Yes, the ordinance has been engrossed and ordained.
Another order of business we had was an ordinance regulating fees for paper bags at retail establishments. After reviewing the city solicitor's opinion on the matter, we've decided to place that item on file.
Place on file.
Calendar item number 11, communication from the city auditor relative to the quarterly appropriation for Revere TV.
Is anybody here for the communication for the
Madam-
Revere TV?
Madam President?
Yes,
I spoke
Counselor.
with Mr. Viskey, and if you don't mind, and the council doesn't mind, we can vote on this. It's a monthly transfer.
Thank you, Counselor. Roll call.
Shall the city council approve an appropriation from the Cable Access Receipt Reserve Fund in the amount of $112,264.22 for Revere TV's quarterly invoice? Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Rizzo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sylvestri?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo is absent. And President Pro Temp McKenna?
Yes.
Yes, the appropriation has been approved. Calendar item number 12, communication from the city auditor relative to the Revere Crossing Guard Memorandum of Agreement.
Is there the auditor here?
Madam President?
Counselor Visconti?
Thank you. I spoke with Rich Viskey on this matter as well, and if my fellow colleagues don't have any objections, we can vote on this rather than putting it into subcommittee. I believe the crossing guards have waited long enough for their raise, and no need for them to wait any longer. Thank you.
I agree. Great motion. Roll call. Counselor Novoselsky?
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, this has been a long time coming for these folks, and they have been been beat up and folded and mutilated in many, many ways, and I think it's about time that they were recognized and earn what they should be getting. So they work hard, they're there protecting our kids, and it's something that is in my heart for all of them, and I know they do a good job, so thank you very much.
Roll call.
Shall the City Council approve the appropriation necessary to fund the memorandum of agreement between the City of Revere and Local 880A covering the period of July 1st, 23 to June 30th, 26? Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes,
Yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Rizzo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sylvestri?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo is absent. President Pro Tem McKenna?
Yes.
Yes, the appropriation has been approved. Calendar item number 13, communication from the city auditor relative to the bond authorization for fiscal year 24 capital improvement budget.
Madam President.
Councilor Visconti?
In speaking with Mr. Viscay, I believe this has to go to a public hearing.
Yes, we're going to order it to a public hearing.
If there's no objection, we can have any discussions at that time as well.
Okay, we're ordering this to a public hearing on September 25th, 2023.
Thank you.
Motions, calendar item number 14, motion presented by Councilor Cogliandro, that the acting mayor direct the chief of police to add patrols to the southern side of Tuttle, Stowers, Bryant, and Wade Streets. These roads are being used as a cut-through from Revere Street traffic, and cars are going upwards of 50 miles an hour down these roads.
Councilor Cogliandro?
Speaks for itself.
Thank you, Councilor. All in favor? All opposed? So ordered.
And one late communication from the Chief of Planning and Community Development requesting approval of a revised resolution relative to the park grant for Gibson Park.
State your name and address, please.
Good evening, Councilors. Tom Skrowski, 781 Broadway. If you are thinking you've been here before talking about this resolution, it's because you have. In June of this year, I brought a similar resolution before you regarding Gibson Park. It's basically a formality when we submit park grants applications to the state that a resolution must be passed by the City Council stating, in effect, because it's a reimbursement grant, that we have the money to front the development of the project before the park grant reimburses us for the balance. What's different this time around with Gibson Park compared to some of the other park grants we've applied for and received is generally the park grant covers the bulk of the park improvements. In this case, the $500,000 we'd receive would be but a fraction of the $2+ million project that will be taking place at Gibson Park. So originally when we put the motion in front of you in June, we had just picked out a few discrete items that corresponded to the grant application, turning the baseball diamond into an all-purpose field, adding lighting fixtures, adding an ADA accessible walkway, and it was about $700,000 worth of improvements that we set aside to ask the council to appropriate. But when we received a lot of positive feedback from the state on the grant application, but they said, again, as a formality, we need to show that we have the entire budget to complete the full breadth of the Gibson Park renovations. And fortunately, we do. We received an ARPA allocation prior to, during Mayor Arrigo's term, to fund the full construction of the Gibson Park project. So that's essentially what this resolution would show, is that the ARPA funding is there to complete the project. And again, $500,000 of that would be reimbursed from the park grant program. Happy to take any questions if you have them.
Councilor Rizzo?
Thank you, Madam President. Just one question pertaining to the, you said the baseball diamond was going to be changed to an all-purpose field?
Yes.
And what does that consist of?
So an all-purpose field, essentially it's a larger grass field that could be used for a variety of different sporting events, and that's some of the feedback. Soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, what have you, as opposed to just kind of a narrowly defined baseball diamond.
Okay, and what would the completion, what's the time frame of this renovation or this upgrade?
That's a good question. So some of it is contingent on funding. Certainly receiving this park grant will be helpful. We also have applied for earmarks through Congresswoman Clark's office. We previously received one for $2 million to complete some flood resiliency improvements along Mills Ave. Hopefully we'll receive additional money. The other big hangup is related to permitting, and I'm sure a lot of folks saw in the Journal a few weeks ago, there was an article about some advanced permitting that's needed through the MEPA process for this park project. Certainly is unfortunate that that kind of leaves us in a bit of a limbo where we're essentially at the state's timeline with regard to permitting. If you think about it in other ways, it does make sense. It's a highly visible project. It's a large project along a key waterway, so we want to make sure it's done right and done in a way that the state, we have their backing and approval. So, you know, ideally we have shovels in the ground in late 2024, but it might take longer than that depending on how some of these conversations go.
So, if I may, Madam President, so did any of this, or was there any mitigation as a result of the large-scale apartment complex that's up there at the old G&J site? Is any of this work being done funded by that project, or is this something completely different?
So this is completely different, although there is CIT funding, I believe, that will go into that project once the full occupancy is received at the end. Although I would say, unlike a CIT-funded project where it's a direct CIT benefit, it's a percentage of the building permit costs, it would be very difficult for us to have achieved the Mass Works grant, the state earmark, and the federal earmarks that we've received without having a key signature housing project like the one that we do have at that site. So directly, there haven't been that many contributions to the project, but indirectly, it's been pretty significant.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is, where the funding from the various sources are coming from is in direct correlation with the development itself. It would be nice to have the approvals up front instead of have this large-scale construction going up, and we're kind of holding our breath with these various agencies as to getting the approvals that's necessary to move forward with the project. I mean, I'd like to see in the future, if there's going to be, I know the state wants to see housing before they give us certain grants, but they should be in a position to give us the grants, get the approvals up front before we go forward and allow these big, huge developments to go up, in the hopes to get a few $1,000,000 from the state and federal government. That's just what I believe. I think we have it kind of backwards, where we're allowing developers to go in and do what they're going to do. And now, I mean, I've had several people that live out in that area ask me about those articles that you're referring to in the newspaper about, well, there's a lot of different processes that have to happen in order to get these final approvals to move the project forward. At least that's the understanding that I had in reading some of what I saw. So, this has nothing to do, Tom, with you directly. I'm just saying, I think in the future, as a city and as a from the municipality standpoint, I think we should be a little more, we should have more guarantees, more security if we're going to allow these projects to go forward. We can't just cross our fingers and then somehow down the road say, well, you know what, there's a little problem here because this agency says this or that agency says that. Because I know there's a number of different agencies that had to weigh in on these approvals, so.
Yep, understood. And what I will say, just to address the resident concerns, because we did hear that quite a bit, I will say pretty unequivocally that this project will happen, and we do have the funding for it. We have both a $5 million earmark and an $8 million state earmark, taken together $13 million within the riverfront area. Some of that will be towards the 1A roundabout that needs to happen as a precondition both for the development and the park itself, so not all of the traffic is coming in and out of the Riverside neighborhood. But in addition to that, we've got revetment improvements, a lot of resiliency improvements, but fortunately, a lot of money to help make it happen. So there is some permitting uncertainty, but I wouldn't say it creates any level of uncertainty that the project will happen itself.
Any other councilors? Road call?
Shall the City Council approve the resolution to file and accept grants with and from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs for the Parkland Acquisition and Renovations for Communities Program for construction and improvements to Gibson Park? Councilor Cogliandro.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilor Morbido, yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Rizzo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sylvestri.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo is absent, and President Pro Tem McKenna.
Yes.
Yes, the resolution has been approved.
Thank you, Tom. We do have a point of personal privilege from Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been here for years, and actually 22 years, almost today, since my nomination to this position. It happened on 9/11, early in the morning, like everybody remembers. But after a few years, we realized there were problems in Ward 2. And one of them was speeding, as everybody complains about with people on the roads. And I just want to make an announcement that starting tomorrow, Campbell Ave will get its speed table starting to be built and established to slow down the cars on Campbell Ave, avoiding North Shore Road. So I want to thank the mayor and all the Department of Public Works who helped make this happen, and hopefully in the near future this fruition will be completed. So that's number one. Number two, as everybody knows, that this coming weekend is the celebration of New Year, the Jewish New Year. And I've been doing this every year, and I'm proud of it. And I want to wish all my friends in Revere and those on YouTube that are watching this and Facebook a happy and healthy New Year. And it's my second New Year without my wife, so thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Anybody else? So thank you for your participation in tonight's City Council meeting. I just want to say, please get out and vote. Exercise your right to vote on Tuesday, September 19th. And this meeting is adjourned until September 25th. Thank you very much.